Erik, instant analysis. How should I read these numbers? A lot of revisions. The headline numbers are interesting, but kind of walk me through the combination of both.
Sure. I mean, so we, as you already outlined, we are up from last month, but then again, that number was revised down a little bit. I think the real takeaway here is to look at the expectations index. The present situation index didn't move too much from the prior month, and we did see a meaningful increase there. So, really, but you're right. Despite the improvement, the expectation index also remains below 80 for the third consecutive month, and that's a level that historically signals a recession within the next year or so. Also, I think go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so 3 monthly readings of expectations below 80, but yet then I read out superlatives like Adobe expects Cyber Monday to rake in $12 billion. Amazon set a record over the weekend. It's like what people are actually doing and then how they feel continue to be at odds, and I just don't understand that.
No, sure. That's a really great observation. For the most part, it's the present situation index component of our consumer confidence index has been holding up fairly decently. It's an expectations index that's been the bigger drag. And so as we saw, I think over the weekend, we had pretty decent sales on Cyber Monday and on Black Friday. But when consumers are looking around the corner towards 2024, that's where I think a lot of the pessimism is a little bit more centered.
In terms of, I'm just curious as to how the data collection are working at the moment. How easy is it to get people to talk about what they're doing? How does this work in terms of your return rate on the questions that you're asking? Is it getting harder to get a handle on what the consumer is actually doing and feeling?
I think that is the case, but that's been a longer-term trend as the nature of surveys have evolved over time. Consumers are less likely to answer a phone call or as opposed to doing something online. And so, the response rates are down a little bit, but I don't necessarily think that that's a major sort of mover in terms of the data.
So, Erik, what are they worried about for 2024?
They're worried about. According to the write-in responses that we received, rising prices in general, that's a theme that continues to sort of be on consumers' mind. Even though we have seen progress on the inflation front over the course of this year, it's still sort of top of mind. Also, we saw a lot of comments about war and conflict, which isn't too surprising given some of the events that we've seen around the world over the last 6 months or so. And then, of course, higher interest rates are also a concern of consumers as well. We've seen, as both of you know, 525 basis points in rate hikes, and consumers are concerned that we could see even more.
How are they feeling about their jobs?
By and large, that's actually an interesting question. When it comes to the future, the expectations are that they're saying that jobs are easy to find, which is a bit of a tick up from where we were a month or two ago. However, at the same time, we're also hearing them say that they're not so easy to get. So on the one hand, plentiful jobs. On the other hand, not terribly easy to get them relative to a month or two ago.